You know, when we think about World War II, our minds usually jump to these huge, epic battles and massive strategies. But for one soldier, looking back on it all, the entire war boiled down to a single, quiet moment. This is the story of that moment, a totally different kind of victory. Let's call it the victory of humanity.
And this quote, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It draws this powerful line between what history remembers and what a person holds on to. The world saw destruction, but for this one man, Daniel, his memory saves something else entirely, something that rose above all that violence. So we're not starting on some grand battlefield map. Nope. We're starting inside a memory. Decades after the fighting stopped, this one single moment is what stuck with him, and it pretty much overshadowed everything else he ever went through. What we're going to do is really dig into how this one small act of compassion, something that could have easily been forgotten, became the most important moment of a person's life, how it completely changed what the word victory even meant to him. Okay, so to really understand this memory, we have to go back. We have to see where it was born. We're headed to a valley somewhere in Europe, right in the middle of the brutal winter of 1944. Just try to picture this scene. The fighting has finally stopped. The guns have gone quiet. But that silence, it isn't peaceful at all. It's heavy, you know? It's filled with what just happened. The air is just thick with it, almost more crushing than the noise of the battle itself. And for this young soldier, Daniel, as he's making his way through this wasteland, all those big ideas about war, patriotism, glory, winning, they've all just vanished. They mean nothing out here. All that's left is that raw, basic instinct just to survive. So this was his world right then. He'd been alone for 2 whole days, totally lost in a place that looked more like a graveyard than anything else. He was completely, utterly on his own. But then, in all of that destruction, in that profound quiet, something happens. Something breaks through the silence. I mean, really, think about it. What sound could possibly exist in a place like this? It's not an engine. It's not another gunshot. It's not another soldier. It's something else. Something human. He follows this tiny, heartbreaking sound, and that's when he finds her, a little girl sitting all by herself next to the rubble that used to be her home. She's terrified, and she's lost in the wreckage of her entire world. And this is the turning point. This is the moment where absolutely everything shifts. The soldier, the one trained for combat and survival, he just fades into the background, and the human being steps forward. You can almost feel that switch just flip inside him. On one side, you have the soldier he was trained to be, and on the other, this simple, powerful human gut reaction. And in that one instant, he forgets his own hunger, his own fear. He just sees a child who needs help. He reaches into his back, and he's got one thing left. Just one single item that could keep him going. And without even a second thought, he kneels down and just gently offers it to her. He gives away his only food. And in that moment, as this little girl takes the bread, the entire meaning of the war changes for him. Forever. And boom. That's the realization he has. It just hits him. In a world that is doing nothing but destroying things, this one small act of kindness was an act of defiance. It was living proof that even when everything is torn to pieces, our humanity, it can survive. So you might think a story like this ends with some big heroic finale, right? A medal or a monument, but it doesn't. The ending here is much quieter. It's just a simple rescue in the snow. After hours of just waiting there with the child, he sees figures on the horizon, and your heart just stops for a second, right? Is the danger coming back? But then this wave of relief just washes over him. He recognizes the symbol. It's his own army. It's almost over. So he just gently scoops up the little girl. He carries her in his arms as he walks toward his unit, not just as a soldier getting back to his ranks, but as a rescuer, carrying this small piece of innocence out of the ruins. And this is really the core of it all. Years later, when he would look back, the actual battle, that was just a blur of noise and fear. But this single act, saving one life, that's what he remembered as his true victory. It was personal, it was profound, and it meant more to him than any territory they gained or any enemy they defeated. And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? We're often taught that victory is this big, grand thing, battles won, goals achieved. But maybe, as Daniel's memory shows us, The victories that truly define who we are the small, quiet moments of kindness that somehow manage to light up the darkness.